Tianna Gaines-Turner, Witness to Hunger. She is a member of Witnesses to Hunger, lives with her husband and 3 children in Philadelphia, PA. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you to the DemPlatform Planning Committee for the opportunity to speak out for so many Americans. My name is Tianna Gaines-Turner, and I urge the Democratic platform to recognize the depth of poverty in this country and to be unafraid to name and address it in their policies. I am the mother of 3 and a stepmother of 2. I am a member of Witnesses to Hunger and also Results, powerful groups of women and men who know poverty firsthand. We speak out to inform policymakers about the challenges we face every day. I have been hungry more times than I can count. I have been homeless with 3 children, and I have been an advocate for my family and my community. I work hard, a part-time seasonal job that pays $12 an hour. My husband has been recently laid off of his job. We work, struggle, scrape, save, but it's never enough. The worst part about our daily struggle is the impact it has on our children. Like all of you, we want the best for our children. We work hard, but I often feel like no matter what I do, I'm in a maze. And no matter which way I walk, there's a barrier in my path. Too often, the barriers in these systems are supposed to support the families. We must strengthen and coordinate our safety net programs so they better serve families. The experience of appealing and maintaining benefits is often painful and frustrating. Caseworkers often have heavy caseloads and are using technology that's out of date. It is exhausting to spend hours at an office only to have your paperwork be lost and be forced to lose another days of work in order to get the benefits that you are eligible to receive. We must use their programs actually providing enough support for families. So many people who rely on the SNAP benefit for food, so many people who rely on SNAP run out of food before their next paycheck and have to miss meals or go to bed at hungry night to make sure that their kids can eat. This is a disgrace, and we need to reassess these benefits and match them to what families actually need. Right now, there are huge holes in our safety net. Too many people are clinging to the edges, unable to climb the ladder of opportunity. Addressing these barriers will help, but we will also need to create the right opportunities for people to move out of poverty. We need access to jobs that pay a living wage and provide benefits like sick paid leave. Having 3 children with medical disabilities, I know what it's like for one of my children to get sick and I lose a day's pay. As a parent, we should never have to choose caring for our child or losing a job. We need to make sure that women are equally paid to men for doing the same jobs. We need access to affordable quality child care so that we know that our children are safe when we are going to work. We need jobs. You need a job in order to apply for child care assistance, but you will be placed on a waiting list. How is it that I can start a job without knowing or having anyone to take care of my children? Most of all, we need to be a part of the conversation. No safety net policy program should be created or changed without talking to someone who knows these programs firsthand. It is important to stand up and speak and be counted for. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a question before I turn it over. We're going to be in Philadelphia for our convention. There'll be plenty of speakers at the convention. But what would you propose, what would you say to the media who are coming to Philadelphia and to the delegates who are coming to Philadelphia? What should they see and do to give them a sense of the issues that you're speaking about?
Well, what I would urge them to do and also to see is to basically first try to understand. That's number one. Number two, to our media, they have to do their part and to make sure that they get the story right. Number three, I think that I would like to invite everyone to our national photo exhibit that we will have in Philadelphia during the DNC, where you can actually walk through our exhibit and see the photographs that me and my Witness to Hunger sisters have taken of different struggles that we face on a daily basis. You cannot talk about hunger and poverty without talking about my Mrs. Macbeth as far as gun violence and all these other things that play a big part in the communities around hunger and poverty. So I urge you to, come and visit us. While you're there, we will do tours and we will definitely be able to speak to you on these matters.
Thank you. Mira?
Thank you. I really want to thank you for being here and sharing your story. It's hard to hear your story and not recognize that the Speaker of the House of Representatives is rolling out an agenda which he claims is about addressing poverty, but from beginning to end actually would undercut everything we have done to redress poverty in our country. Makes it worse, the conditions worse for working families, people who are poor, from our cities to rural areas. So I would like to ask you, what would your message be to Speaker Ryan and the House of Republicans in the House of Representatives who are championing cutting entitlements, cutting services that have actually had a benefit to people's lives?
Well, first, let me be really frank. The fact of the matter is that Speaker Ryan has come out with a task force, a poverty task force that he calls it. But let's just be honest. Let's take off the smoke screen, take off the rose-tinted glasses. The task force is made up of middle-aged white gentlemen. There's no one on this task force who experienced hunger and poverty, no minority. So really, what are you trying to understand? Your task force could be made up of at least, I say he has 3 people who understand hunger and poverty firsthand. I had the honor, thanks to Congresswoman Barbara Lee, who I know had to step away 2 years ago, to speak at the Republican House Budget Committee and be an expert witness on hunger and poverty. And at that time, he was in a different position. Now that he's the Speaker of the House, I'm sad to say I don't think he took serious anything I said. I don't think that he's paying attention. There was a documentary that just came out that's called A Hug from Paul Ryan, Take 5 Justice in America. But I want people to understand, when he put out his hand to offer me a handshake, I asked him for a hug because I thought at that time it would become personal. But hugs are not enough. Our children, our communities don't have 10 more years for Paul Ryan and his people to get it together. We need action now.
Thank you very much.
Deborah Parker, and then Cornell.
Yes, I'd like to thank you for coming forward and telling us your story. These stories are very important to the decisions that we make. I wanted to add, on top of their living wage, affordable childcare, the issue of food sovereignty. And that's the right of people to have healthy and culturally appropriate foods. And so also it's great for the environment. So when you have food that's grown in your local area, it helps the children, the families, cuts down on carbon through delivery. So that's another win-win situation that I'd love for this platform to really look at and consider more just and economically affordable food for our nation and for the families.
And it'll also help our food deserts as well.
And that's exactly right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cornell West.
Yeah, just very brief. Thank you for your powerful words and courageous witness.
Thank you.
47 million poor people in the richest nation in the history of the world. That is a moral disgrace. And it strikes me, though, that even though Democratic Party is better than the Republican Party, it's really a critique of both parties. Because we really haven't had leaders in any party to deal seriously with what Martin Luther King Jr. was talking about. When we make eliminating poverty a major priority. Is that fair?
Very fair.
Okay, okay.
But I also would urge that whoever becomes our next president, that they have to make sure that they take hunger and poverty by the horns. They need to develop a task force that just concentrates on hunger and poverty. Call us, ask us. We are around, we speak out. We don't need anyone to tell our story. And if you need someone to sit on the task force, I will be there. Thank you
Great.
very much.
Thank
Great,
you
thank
very
you.
much.